Good morning and welcome. It's the last day of camp here for Teen 1 2023 at Lake Lundgren Bible Camp. My name is Joe Van Air. I was the Bible teacher this week, and I just want to let you know what we talked about this week so you can have some meaningful conversations with your kids. It was a great week. Honestly, this was a fantastic week for what God did here at camp. On the first night, we talked about going deep and what it meant to go deep. And what we learned was that we needed to put the yoke on, that Jesus talks about us and says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. And we talked about what that yoke was, that we're walking alongside of Jesus. Then on Tuesday night, we got together and we started talking about, well, what do we do to get rid of the things in our life? And we did the dump run, and we talked about how Jesus worked with the Samaritan woman. And I told this story of going to the dump and how the two stories parallel one another. Ask your kids what they left at the dump that night. On the third night, we talked about being a branch, that to do this life, we have to remain in Jesus. And we're not the roots and we're not the fruit. We are simply a branch, and we need to remain totally 100% into that root of Jesus Christ. Because if we keep our lives in Him, He will produce the fruit on the end. We are just a branch. On Thursday night, we had an amazing night. Normally we would do this one outside, but because of the weather, we went inside and we had an indoor worship time where we read through the book of Jonah and we worshiped the Lord, and it was an amazing night of worship. And then last night we got together and we talked about how do you weather storms. And I must admit, on that night I was a bit weepy because I've had a lot of storms lately, but God takes us through those storms. And we talked about how does He do that? How does He take us and hold us together to do that? But what He does is He takes His treasure, His life, His Jesus Christ on the cross for us, our salvation, and then puts the Holy Spirit in us, a jar of clay. Ask your kids the difference between the two jars that we talked about last night. And this morning, in just a few minutes, I'm going to give the last message. We're going to talk about how we have to walk in the Spirit. It has been a great week here at Lake Lundgren. Thank you for sending your kids here. Thank you for supporting this camp. For many, many years, this camp has been proclaiming Jesus Christ, and it's because you send your kids here. So thank you for doing that.